We all have these big dreams that we would like to see our future us accomplish. However, whenever we think about our dreams, like these inner voices call us, you will never be able to make it work. You are not strong, smart, or clever enough to make it work, or any of the other words it says to us. When these things are being said to us, what do you think would happen? Would you feel motivated to go against those inner voices? Can you actually make it work despite the things you tell yourself? You will start to do less, have less motivation, and less action towards actually achieving your goals until eventually the dream entirely disappears from your life. Unless we start actively working with that inner voice and start to actually get to know our inner critic, where do these words come from? What convictions do they have? And so do you yourself have. In this lesson, we are going to take a look at the convictions we subconsciously have about ourselves, the world, and how we are supposed to live in it. And we are going to confront these beliefs head on. We know it is wise to make certain choices, but we don't also feel that to be the right choice, then we will find it hard to accept the consequences. This is where our mindset, our thinking, and our heart set, our feeling, might not align. How do we make them align? By combining the two into one mind power. So let's start at the beginning. What are convictions? Ever been in a situation where you and someone else have a conversation, but by the end of it, both of you have a very different view of what actually was said and happened? This is probably because you both have different underlying convictions. Our convictions are these powerful mechanisms that observe ourselves and the world we live in. They play a big role in guiding you through your life. You see the world through the eyes of your convictions. Do you believe the world is evil? Then you will only encounter or notice evil acts. They are born from experiences and conclusions we make through the experiences we have. They give explanation to what happens and form your truth, and with that give you certainty in life and have a strong influence on your behavior, thoughts, opinions, actions, and willingness to change. For example, you might have had the conviction, I shouldn't be late to anything. And so you always try to be on every appointment early, and you might even experience a large amount of stress when you are running late. They determine what you can and can't achieve because these to you are the truths of your life. Convictions are like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Some convictions can block you and others can be your guides forward. Convictions are the hit or miss piece in your road to happiness. So now that we know the importance of convictions, where do they come from? So for the first 2 years of your life, we live in total innocence. Your behavior is guided by your instincts of curiosity, playfulness, and dare. Anything is possible. After our third year, we start to pick up on convictions of the people around us as well as the experiences we have. Throughout the years, you have built up a whole fortress of convictions, both empowering and disempowering. Everyone that is still scared of chickens because they were once chased down by one as a child, even though we are now adults and the fear might be unreasonable and a bit embarrassing, the experience itself was so powerful that your subconscious still remembers it all. So, what are disempowering convictions? This question might be an obvious one for some, but however, some of the convictions we have are more destructive than we might initially believe that they are. Disempowering beliefs are usually beliefs that prevent you from moving forward or doing anything at all. Signs you might be looking for are things like, I can't do it, or I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy of it, or the more obvious things of like, I'm too big, small, tall, short, ugly, stupid, etc., etc. or put in like any other conviction you might have on yourself. On the other hand, empowering convictions include words like I am a winner, or whatever happens, it will be all right. I am valuable, beautiful, intelligent, happy, and so on and so forward. So now, knowing that, we can use our convictions to our own advantage. How, you might ask? By choosing your convictions. Convictions about yourself and your capabilities. I know, I can already hear you, that is not going to work. And to those I say, no, not with that attitude. Did you know you have done this before? Let's think back to when we believed in, say, Santa or the Tooth Fairy or the Teletubbies. When we were younger, we truly believed in those things and found joy and happiness in it. Now, of course, you know that they are actors in suits and not magical creatures. We all thought that they were. You were wrong back then about your beliefs, but does that truly matter? What if what if it turns out that 1 year from now you realize the beliefs you hold today are not the truth as well? And that you are wrong in this moment about your own capabilities as well? What would that mean? And by implying these new values, my own coach told me this that stuck with me forever. There's this saying, fake it till you make it, when it comes to holding new belief systems. Fake it until you become it. And I think that's a very, very powerful saying with this. Fake it until you becoming. At first, your belief system might seem like the Teletubbies, where you're like, that's not real, that's not a thing. If you put enough faith and belief into it, it becomes real. So now let's take a look at our mindset. So since our mindset starts with our convictions, let's see if we can change those convictions into something that actually motivates us and gives us the energy to move forward. And create lasting change through our mind power. To really create lasting change, we must not only change our conscious brain, but also our unconscious brain. Our conscious brain is our mindset, our unconscious brain is our heartset. But first, let's take a look at our mindset. Because our heartset is our emotions. By actually allowing emotions to feel a certain way when we truly believe these convictions, how would it feel when you actually believe you are beautiful, smart, successful, and so on and so forward? Feel it, be it, believe it. So our mind power is our control for our mind power lies with our mindset. Our heart set is very hard to control because those are emotions. We are not born with beliefs that we are poor, fat, stupid, or ugly. These are things our mind have believed to be true through our life experiences. When someone gets bullied in school for something ridiculous, at some point their mind will start to wonder, maybe they are right. Maybe I don't see what they see. But if so many people say it, it must be the truth, right? We get convinced by exposure, and so to see only the things our mind is now convinced to be the truth. If we believe the world is evil, it is. This being said, we can also do the reverse, expose ourselves to enough positive and empowering beliefs that our brains will have no choice but to believe it too. Fake it till you become it. Now, how do we do this? While your mindset is the way of thinking that we have somewhat of control over, our heart set seems to just kind of happen. When we talk to our heart set, we talk about our emotions, intuition, guidance from within. This is something that is harder to explain or control. How we feel things not just the emotions we feel, but also knowing something to be right or wrong without really being able to tell why. It is just a gut feeling, we often say, or I just know it. This comes from your heartset, a powerful mechanism that can be ruthless at times. Nowadays, we often don't allow our heartset to speak out, uh, or our mind tells us we are crazy and that it is nothing. Listen to your heartset and get in touch with that, what they are trying to say. With that heartset, again, your with the inner voices of the episode, the lesson that we had last week. This is our inner guide. So now, homework for how you can change this. I feel like this might be a bit repetitive. This is something that you've done before, but I'm going to ask you to do it once more. So, first step, write down for an entire day your empowering thoughts and beliefs. Things like, I can't do it, I don't have time for that, this is ridiculous, this is embarrassing, and so on. Anything that makes you feel less powerful and less motivated to actually do the action you're about to do. Step 2 is to ask yourself the following questions about the things you have written down in step 1. Does this conviction help me be who I want to be? Does this conviction help me be or achieve my goals? And last, does this conviction make me feel good about myself? If you hit 3 yeses, then it is an empowering conviction and you can hold on to it. Nothing has to change. Do you have 1 no in one of these questions? Then this is an unempowering conviction and we can work on those. So let's move on with step number 3, changing the conviction. It is important with the changing of convictions that you really use your own words and add in words like me, I, or mine. For example, from you are not good enough to I am who I am or I am unique. You can't do it to I will do my best. And just use words that feel very natural to you. What words would you really use? Last step, step number 4, is choose 7 convictions with the most powerful, empowering phrase and write each one on a post-it. Make sure that the phrase that you pick make you feel empowering. Again, so the changed value from negative into an empowering one, which gives you the energy. So again, choose 7 conviction with the most powerful, empowering phrase to you and write each one on a post-it. Make sure that the phrase that you pick make you feel empowering, strong, and maybe even have a little bit of a hopeful spark. If it makes you feel worthless, doubt yourself, or tired, then you might want to change the phrase. So now what we are going to do with these post-its, hang 1 post-it somewhere where you see it multiple times a day, on your bathroom mirror, the fridge, or your laptop, for example. Every time you see the post-it, take a moment to take a deep breath and read the post-it out loud. Really take the words in and feel how they make you feel. Before you go to sleep, take the post-it and read it 1 more time while looking at yourself in the mirror. Really take a moment to look at yourself and believe this to be truth. If you cry, you cry. If you feel proud, you feel proud. Let all emotions just be there. What happens, happens in that moment with yourself. The next day, you do the same thing with the next post-it and so forward and so on until you have 1 week of a post-it a day. After a week, you have done this exercises with all phrases. How do these phrases now feel to you when you look back to them? Do they already belong to you? Did they become a little bit more the truth? Do this exercise for as many times as you feel like you need to. Maybe you want 1 of the post-its for an extra day. Listen to your intuition. There are no wrong or right ways. Do what feels good to you, what feels right to you. Maybe at the end of it, you're still feeling ridiculous, but there is this spark within you where it's like, I want to try this again, maybe with different words, change things up. Totally fine. Do it the way that feels right to you, because this can be a very, very frustrating task, and one that you might want to do over a couple of times. Don't forget to be mild, loving, and forgiving towards yourself. You are doing this for the first time with your conscious mind, so it is bound to fail the first time. Again, listen to your intuition, and with love, if you need a break, take it. If you need to change a post-it midday, do it. Challenge yourself to take a look at why you are struggling if you are. Have a cry, let it all out, and let's finish the exercise. Allow yourself to feel the way that you feel. Get in touch with your heart set. If after a day you feel like the conviction still feels untrue or even a lie, go sit with our heart set. Have a quiet moment where you ask yourself, why do we think this is a lie? Where is it coming from? What proof do we have of the existence of this lie? And ask ourselves, but do I want it to be true? With that wish of truth, do the exercise again. Every time you read the line, instead of thinking to yourself, that is a lie, think to yourself, I want this to be true. Now, in the next lesson, we are going to take a look at our attitude. How much does our mental and physical attitude influence how we feel, what we say and what we do, and how can we make meaningful changes by changing our attitude? We will all talk about it in the next lesson. For some of you, you might already heard about the superhero stance. This is one of the things that we are going to talk about in the next lesson, attitude. So come join me again in the next lesson. Have an amazing rest of your day. Continue to kick ass, and hopefully I will talk to you guys again very, very soon.